Hello, hello, hello. How are we all? Got a few on here. Oh, I didn't swap my glasses out. So I'm going to be going like this. Maybe I should just go and swap my glasses. Hi, Liz. Give me 2 secs to swap my glasses. Ah, that's better. I did get them made especially for this, so I should use them, shouldn't I? Hi, Liz. Hi, Cheryl, Joe, and Jane. Carmel, are you new here? I don't think I recognise your surname. Welcome if you are new. Hello. Christine, hi over on YouTube. Hello. I've had the heater on and I've got my coat on. I think I'm going to have to strip a layer off. That's unusual, isn't it? That I'm actually too warm. Hi, Chris. Hi, Kim. Chris, I haven't replied to you yet. It's all right. It's in my list. Hi, Joe. When do you arrive? Tomorrow? Not sure when you're arriving. Lorraine, hello. Jenny Hanny. Oh, who are we now? I think I know. I think I know who you are this week. Michelle, hello. Laurel, hello. Yes, Laurel, that's my finished new one that'll be launched in the next few weeks. It's all completely finished, just wrapping up the photography. It's a bit crooked, isn't it? A bit crooked on the screen anyway. Never mind. Karen, Jeanette, Kylie, hello. Maureen, hello. So my final name, did I tell you last week? You might not have been here anyway. So the final name is Devonshire Dreams. So I went with the jam and cream, sort of, Devonshire, and then just shortened down to something that I'd remember. But every time I'm trying to think of it, I'm thinking jam and cream, scones, jam and cream. What is it? Yes, Devonshire. So there you go. Late tomorrow, very late tomorrow night. Okay. All right. Well, that's all right. You didn't need to be here till Saturday morning, so that's good. Let's hope the plane lands nicely. Karen, hello. I didn't see you last night. I was manic last night. I saw a lot of people in the distance, but didn't talk to a lot. Yep, I think I'm going to strip my coat off. I think I'm going to be too warm, too many layers, which is very rare for this front room. I literally just got one of those pointy digital thermometer things, and I've just been walking around the house pointing it everywhere to see where all our drafts are coming in. So that was interesting. But it did prove that the honeycomb blinds, with them down, saved about 4 degrees in temperature. So with them up, just with the window, it was 4 degrees colder. So they work. Hi, Elma, Catherine, Kristen, Ellie. Elma, I think you might be new here too. Welcome. Where are you tuning in from? Yeah. Okay, we've got quite a few here. Perfect name. You happy with the name, Lauren? Yeah, I think there was so many ideas and they were all sort of similar, but then they were all just getting all so. Wine tonight, Gail. Good, sounds good. Hi, Fiona. All right, well, I'm going to try over the gin I had last week, seeing as I threw it all over Bentley on the floor and didn't get to drink it. Hi, Marg. So again, we've got our Taylor and Smith gin, which is just down the next suburb in Moona. And they have these pretty cool bottles, different colours for different ones. Hi, Vera. Hi, Leanne. Denise, hello. I won't put quite so much in this week. And I've just got a bit of fresh lime off my tree. Hi, Sol. And yeah, it's just a nice refreshing. I'll put it somewhere where I don't knock it off, and he's not in here yet, so we're okay. Palmerston, North New Zealand. Welcome. Well, there you go. So have we all had a good week? We got a little bit done here. What did we have on the weekend? Oh, I made a pair of shoes. That's right. I did make a pair of shoes. Hi, Leanne. Hi, Rosie. And as you might have seen, I'm working on a few new projects. I'm just going to clean these glasses. Not very clean. A few new secret projects for later on in the year. You would have seen we released the Tilly May Stitcheries this week. She just reminded me to remind you, but she's excited because there's been quite a few sales, so that was exciting for her. Wanganui, so I'm assuming that's New Zealand too. Robin, hello, welcome. Wanda, hello. Love the honeycomb blinds. Yes, but we got them we're fairly early adopters. And there wasn't much choice, and I wanted them without cords. So I suppose we have probably had them 10 years now, but all but the kitchen and lounge ones, they've just all perished and all fallen apart. So I have to look at getting new ones, but it just proved to me with that digital thermometer that they do the job. So I think I will go honeycomb again, but yeah. So far a very busy week. You've been away. You're away, aren't you, Wendy? Hi, Anne. Joe's here. Andrea. Forgot it was Thursday. How could you forget it was Thursday? Yes, and I do understand. Ah, nice. Your dye forward Windermere quilt. Yes, that you would be thinking in tribute the whole time you're stitching that, wouldn't you? Very good week. Did you go to Birmingham? Anyone go to Birmingham? There's a few people went. To Festival of Quilts. I watched from afar last week where everyone was there because at one stage I was going to be there, but it didn't happen. So I'll have to try again next year. Okay, so what have I got to show you this week? Well, Gail, I saw the teacher interest message come out. Hi, Barb. I've got another commitment 2 weeks. For 2 weeks, I'm away. 2 weeks before it. I'm actually in New Zealand for that. Well, sailing around New Zealand. There's a little hint. So I'm not sure if I'm going to put a submission in or not. So I did teach last year, but I only taught a couple of classes because I didn't get a lot of bookings. So it made it not so worthwhile, but it was still good to be there. It was lovely to be there. But yeah, I'm still considering it. Gail. What do you think? As you've got enough friends over there that would come and book into my classes? It's in Christchurch, isn't it? I think next year. So whereas it was near Auckland this year. Hi Sharon. Hi Karen. Too busy? Hopefully both be there next year. Well, maybe we should try and make that a plan. Yes. Hello Jane. Yeah. All right. So. Yeah, so still thinking about symposium. All right, we actually had a big box of new stuff come in, so I've got lots to show you, except that there was a bit of miscommunication and they're not on most of it's not on the website yet. Robin, are you in New Zealand, Robin? Well, hang on, I'm not going to go at the comments. You were in New Zealand, weren't you? Not that that matters, because it was actually a friend from Australia who sent me the link to apply, because she went from Australia last time and was there when I taught last time. It was a really good event. It's a lovely event. So I would like to go. But yeah, I have to think of some projects that maybe fill the classes a bit more. 2 were sold out straight away. And they just, I don't know. We won't talk about it, but the others, yeah, it wasn't completely what they chose. You come and teach and I will come to Birmingham. I'm thinking that's what you mean. Yeah, possibly. Yes, Joe. Yes. Details will be coming out soon. It's not my own. I'm doing it for someone else. But yes, you are correct. Early October next year. Hi, Maggie and Vicky. Hi, Helen. Hi, Julie and Debbie. That's all right. You haven't missed much. I've just been waffling, having a drink, cleaning my glasses, and a few other things. So you haven't missed much yet. All right, so let's, I might go onto white table so you can see, and a heap of stuff came in. So let's go overhead. So we have colour wheels back in, just little ones. really handy for, and I think particularly too for those that did like the Kathy Dowdy workshop last weekend and learnt a lot more about colour, warm and cool colours, complementary, monotone, all the different sort of colourways and how you look at colour and choosing. I think this is why Joe got these in, but they didn't come in time. Yeah, wasn't very happy with me, Barb, but I'm having the same one tonight and I've put it in a safer spot so he doesn't wear it again tonight. In fact, he hasn't even come in yet because he's scared because I threw water over him last week. He hates water, I'm sure. Thanks, Karen. That you'll see it again in a minute. That's the new block of the month that'll be launching in the next few weeks. So anyway, so colour wheels, just a very handy little thing to have when you're looking at colour and choosing colours for your quilts. Then we have, because we have a bag making, first one I'm going to show you, we've got more cleaning tool sets in. So these are the gypsy ones, $9.25. So there's more of those in, and I can put the link for that in. I'll do that in a minute. Sharon. Joe was in my shop once and we spoke about it too, but I haven't heard from her since. I'm not doing this one with her. Hi, Ange. But I talked about, yes, doing my own with her one day. I like cruises too. Okay, so they're the machine. They're little brushes, different size brushes to get in all the nooks and crannies of your sewing machine to clean out all that dust. Hey, Mandy. And then we've got a heap of few, because we've got our bag making workshop this weekend. Thought everyone's going to get inspired. And I saw all these new bag making patterns that we hadn't had. So one of the patterns we're doing this weekend is the Poppins bag, which is an Auntie's 2 pattern. That's the designer. So I just bought a few others for them to look at once they learn all their techniques and tips and things. Might want to try some different bags. So this is the fuse, fold and stitch bags. So I'm assuming you can make it with strips or layer cakes. Quick zigzag stitch technique using wide strips. So I'm assuming it's like a stitch and flip or a fuse and flip type project. And then it comes together really quickly with this bag. So that's that one, fuse, fold and stitch. Then we have the City Bags Downtown. So they have, they look a little bit like their retreat bag, but a bit different because they've got the metal stays in there. So that opens wide and flat. And that's just one size. So that's Downtown. But then there's the City Bags Uptown. So that's a really big one. So it's like a travel or an overnight bag. Gee, that fabric looks good, doesn't it? And that's got the stays in it. And then I'm sure, yes, there's the City Bags Midtown. So this must be the medium size. So you can see it's got different size metal stays in it. That'll like good bags. Have to pump some of those out. And then what else have we got? We have got the this is a really super duper big one. Okay, the weekend duffel, super sized. So you can see there it opens up, the big wide open. It'll be very structurally strong the way she makes them. Pockets. Yeah, so that's the weekend duffel. And then this one is the Katahdin tote. So again, it's got stays. It looks a bit similar, medium size with 4 inside pockets. Made with 2.5-inch strips, so you could do it from a jelly roll. So there are some new ones. Oh, Mary, you got a delivery. Good. City Bags do look good. Hi, Rhonda. Just missed a few comments. Sorry. Yeah. Might have to get a drinks package, do we? Yes. Hi, Judith. October. Oh, won't be super warm. But anyway, that's okay. Okay, so they're new Auntie's 2 patterns that will be on the website tomorrow. If there's anything you particularly want, just say sold here. and Joe's watching. She'll write it down and get in touch with you. This weekend you can do either the Poppins bag, which is an Artie's 2 quilt, or the Oxbow tote, which is the pattern designer's gone out of my head. Oxbow tote by anyway, this is the Oxbow tote, which is a bit simpler. So there's one quite structured one and one that's a little bit simpler. So we have this one from Primitive Gatherings. I'm not sure how this made it into the cart. I thought, Joe, that someone had put it in there because they wanted it. But anyway, you've sent it home, so maybe we've got a few. Hi, Jenny. This is actually wool applique, but I guess you could change it to normal applique if you wanted to. But anyway, that's a lovely Nordic Wings Primitive Gatherings pattern. I'm not quite sure how we got that, but if you've got lots of wool stash, that's lovely. Yep, that one. And then all these little, I know how much you love Kathy Schmidt's, so we just got a little selection of Kathy's little sampler block patterns. So this is the bunny sampler. So they're just little stitchery designs. They are there's no transfer or anything, and you have to trace. So that's the bunny sampler. That's very nice. Karen just wants the dragonfly. There you go. It's gone. Needlehead. Yes, I think it might be. Oh, no, it's not Needlehead. Tina, are you here? Who makes the Oxbow tote? I don't think it is Needlehead. Or maybe it is. Maybe it is. Could be. I know we've had some of theirs. It is a nice dragonfly. Okay, Karen, you will have wool, I'm sure. So you've got the dragonfly. If you want any more, we'll get some more. This one is the stitch sampler. So there's a whole series of these little sampler blocks, and they're like little, antique samplers, but they're hand stitched in Kathy Schmidt's style. So the stitch sampler, they're all $17.50. Then the spring sampler. I think that if I go closer, it's going to be too close. Yeah, so we'll just go half. The spring sampler. So that's got a little nest with eggs and a bunny and an umbrella, the spring rains, house with rainbows, and some tulips. The tulips come out in spring. Yes, they do come out in spring for us. Then there is the quilt sampler. So this one's got a tape measure, a little tomato pincushion thing, a stitched heart, a reel and thread, and the scissors, and it says quilt. So you could do a whole series of these, couldn't you? And then the Noel. Oh, it is Needlehead. Thank you, Melissa. It is Needlehead. Whoever said that with Caroline, you were correct. Yes, thank you. The Noel sampler. So this is the Christmas one. So, all little Christmas ones. Okay, Bentley's ready to come in. Another tick. Come on, in you come, quick, on your bed. So, I think there's 2 or 3. Oh, well done, Marilyn. They're sweet, aren't they? So they're nice little ones. And then just this one, Deck the Boughs, which is 12. So you might have, we had her Christmas circle book last year, which we still have a couple of copies left, I think. But now she's just got this little 12 ornaments, and they're more sort of filled in stitched. So if I go in closer, you can see that rather than just outline stitched, there's sort of satin stitched and filled in. So a little bit more embroidery on them than the red work ones are in the book. But they're sweet, aren't they? So there's 12 in there, and that's the same price, $17.50. So we have a couple of those as well. So as I said, they're not on the website yet. They will be tomorrow. A bit of miscommunication there. Or if you want one, then we will. Joe will contact you if you just put it in the comments, like Karen did. Okay, a couple of other things that came in. Karen K. Buckley scissors. If you're like me and you've lost all your covers, protective covers, we can now get replacement covers for them. If you can see that, you can see that must be the large. That's the purple, and that's the medium blue. and that's the little one for your embroidery scissors and your smaller ones. So we can get replacements now. And can we order this? I'd love the stitch and quilt stitcheries. The stitch and quilt. You mean the Kathy Schmidt's ones, Julie? Yes. Just put a comment in which ones you want, and Jo will hold those ones and send you an invoice tomorrow. So yeah, if you need new blade protectors, and you can actually now get little chains that go from the cover onto the handle of the scissors, so you don't lose them. I think you must have to melt a hole in them or something, because there's no hole in them. But anyway, I always lose mine. I try and keep them on, but they'll be in a bag somewhere, but just not with the scissors. So we have those. I might be able to put those in the links in a minute. No, I don't think I can. Then, I love my, I actually only do circles with my applique paper because I just find that the easiest, and I've got access to them, so that's the way of doing it. But another quite popular method, and I think Kathy Dowdy was using it in her workshop as well, which is why some of them would like to have them, and I do have them in my Notion box as well, is the Karen K. Buckley Mylar Perfect Circles. So there's sets in there. Is there 4 sets in there? Like, should they be taken apart, Jo? I'm not sure. No, they're all different sizes. Each one's a different size. Okay. So they're all your Mylar circles that you can gather a circle piece of wood, Michelle, exactly. A piece of fabric around it, like do a gathering stitch and gather it up, and then just hit it with a bit of best press or something and iron it. You can iron over this Mylar, and then you just carefully pull the Mylar out and you've got your turned circle. So that is another way to do it. Again, I just find my iron-on leave-in ones the easiest, quickest, most accurate way to do it. But if you wanted bigger circles and you didn't want to use so much applique paper, although you can cut out the middles, then they also come in this bigger set. So I actually think that the bigger perfect circles are something that I potentially might use. And we do have a similar, we have a Mylar as well that we can cut them ourselves, but everyone knows the Karen K. Buckley one, so we thought we'd just get a few in case anyone wanted that. There are sometimes when you don't have an applique paper circle with you and you just want to make with what you've got, so that would be handy. So perfect circles and bigger perfect circles also came in. All right, so I think that's all. Bentley, up off there. All up so you can't decide to have it. There were a couple of new bolts of fabric, but I didn't bring them home because I thought they were, it wasn't a range or anything. It wasn't. Yeah, they don't like too much heat, Michelle, and I find the same thing, that if you put too much heat on it, they do warp and twist a bit. So that's why it's not my favourite. But Mylar is I've searched for something that would have a high heat. I mean, you can hit them with it, but just not too hot a heat, and don't leave it on there for too long. We also have another thicker plastic that's very heat resistant as well that we can laser cut, and we used it for the it must have been Sunshine and Lollipops, I think. We had a Mylar circle pack for that to do the really big circles, and that can take a bit higher heat again, but they're a little bit thicker. So for little ones, you don't get a really crisp edge because they're a little bit thicker, so they can take more heat. So yeah, anyway, we all have different methods, and sometimes different methods work in different circumstances. So I'm just lucky that I got paper on hand and I can laser cut perfect circles any shape or size I want. But for everyone else, it's probably good to have them there. The little Christmas stitches, Rosie, I think you made the little 16 little ones. If Jo's watching, yep, she can get that. Okay, so that was all of those things, and then I've just got a new project to show you. Well, behind me, some of you have noticed, last week I showed you, you mean the Aptly Pop ones, Jo? Or Aptly Pop ones? That are metal ones? Yes. Kathy was using those as well. They come out of the UK. We haven't found a supplier here for them. I'm going to try a similar thing with our thick white plastic. I tried it with acrylic and it was just too thick, so I'm going to try that with our 2 sets of circles, a set of each of the circles, Joe, so the big and the small. Sarah Filkey Textile Designer Method. Don't know what that one is exactly. Okay. Yeah, keep a stash of the circles. That's right. When and if I sell this business and don't have it anymore, I'm going to have to keep at least, well, what am I going to give myself? 30 years worth? Hopefully I'd get 30 years. 30 years worth of circles and shapes and everything else that I want. So, are we frozen? I'm not frozen. It might be you, Dane. Might just need to refresh. Because I think it's looking all right here on my test one. All right, so new project I've got to show you now. This is not a new project. This was actually, first of all, step one back, the one in the background I was going to talk about. So for those that weren't here last week, when I demonstrated the binding method, and the week before when I had just the flimsy sitting behind me on the wall, this is Devonshire Dreams, and it's a 15-month block of the month quilt. And it's just red work, so there's more than 15 stitcheries, but I've split it into 15 months because all these little ones come together at the end. And then there's about 175 of these circles to applique on, because I can't miss doing a circle. Again, it comes with the papers, and they're a nice big, they're 1.5 inch, so they're really easy to do, so that won't be tricky for you at all. You also get the circles that go behind these appliqued little stitcheries, so you can easily turn your edges over and get perfect circles there when you applique them onto the background. And then there's just a little bit of checkerboard piecing, which is just there's a really cool method where you just cut all the strips, sew them all together, and then cross cut them, and you've got all your checkerboards there ready to go. So it comes together pretty easily. It is a bit of a, you can see there's not many straight lines. So there's a couple of not Y seams, but 3-way seams that you have to do. But the actual putting it together is fairly easy. And the stitchery will just be, 1 a month. So just your little quiet red work therapy, 1 thread, so you don't have to think about it. And it's very relaxing. Red work is very relaxing because it's 1 thread. The transfers there, the designs on there, just, within a couple of minutes, and then you can just stitch away whenever you have a few minutes to spare. So 15 months it'll be over. You can it will be available either as a full pattern set and a full fabric kit set with the threads and everything in it, and the papers come in the pattern set and the transfers, or you can do monthly pattern and kit. Can't do monthly pattern because it's a lot of wasted postage sending one little pattern out every month, paper pattern, so you'd be paying a fortune in postage. So you'll start to see it. We'll be ready for sign up soon. You'll start to see it available around. Still deciding if we're going to do an early bird sign up offer or not. We're still working on the details. But yeah, I think Donna's got her first transfer to go home and start straight away. She gets a head start. But yeah, if you just like red work, simple stitchery where it's just relaxing, it's all just sitting there ready to go, then this is a nice one. I just did it over the last 2 years when I had nothing else ready to do. I had all these ironed on ready once. I drew a few at a time. So I'd just sit on my iPad and draw a new one and then stitch away. And then when I've had nothing else to do, go back and draw another one. And then, so it was over about 2 years. It wasn't rushed, but you should be able to easily do 1 a month. In fact, 1 a week, really, if you wanted to. So that will be available soon. And then the other new project I've got to show you, as I said, is not new. It was actually a reject project from the end of our Stitches Garden at the end of last year. It was going to be our last Stitches Garden project. But it wasn't a reject because it wasn't any good. It was just they're easy circles, Michelle. Again, very relaxing. It wasn't a reject because it was no good. It was just a reject because I looked back at the projects before and realised I'd done like a very similar shaped project before, and it sort of just didn't fit the theme of everything else. So it just got shelved. And measurements of the quilt are, I think they're about 60 by 55 or 65 by 55. Can't quite remember. Oh, hang on a minute. I did have the cover here somewhere. No, maybe I took it downstairs. It's not huge. It's about 65 inches. Anyway, so at our recent ASA retreat, I've been using the rejects because I don't very often get to do it. As I've been using them as bags. So I had it next to my sewing machine with, what did I have in it? All the rotary cutters and everything are in it that we had next to the sewing machine. And of course, everyone saw the project and wanted to know what the project was and wanted to have it. So I said, oh, maybe I'll have to write up the pattern. So, anyway, this is the project, but it might be easier just to show you on the overhead. So it's a mini spot-on box patch. So last year I was doing all the spot-ons and the mini spot-ons. So it was the same concept. This one I think I didn't do on the fusible grid, but of course you could do it on the fusible grid. The other one was. So in the pattern you can do it either way, or you can just piece it. And then I've appliqued the little mini spots on there. How many my last circles are available? I'm not sure, Kathy. I think a couple of people have asked for them. We can order more in if you want them, but Joe will get back to you on that. So there's a little applique circles, and then I've just done a little feather stitch around them. So if we go in half, if we go in full zoom, you can see here. So it was just the little mini spot-ons, but to pretty it up a bit more because I just went really plain colours. It's the magnetic blue and the putty linens. I did a little feather stitch around it in opposite colours. So you can see I've got 2 zip pulls on it, so you can just open it up easily. And then it is a box pouch. It's got a handle on one end for easily carrying it. There's no circles on the bottom. They will just get dirty, or on the ends. It's just on the top. So there must be 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. There's 24 applique circles to do. So it's just called the mini spot-on box pouch. Now, before you all get excited, we can send the patterns now, but went to kit it and we only had enough zip left for one. So it'll be maybe a week and a half before the zip and the zipper pulls comes that we can finish off the kits. So yeah, but it's pretty nice, isn't it? Or you can just order the pattern now and use your own fabrics. So I just sort of thought I would demo the circle and the marking of the outside of the circle and the feather stitch around a circle. Actually, I'm going to have to check the pattern again, Joe, because I've actually done feather stitch and fly stitch. I didn't even realize that. Feather stitch on those and fly stitch on those. Well, there you go. I hope you haven't printed them. Anyway, it would be nice as with the feather stitch on all of them. You wouldn't have to do a fly stitch. You could do one or the other. Right, so let me get my ironing board back. Turn on my iron. And so I just grabbed all these bits. So first of all, a 1-inch EPP iron-on circle and a scrap of fabric. So we're just going to fuse that on. Wait for the iron to get hot. Right, and then I'm cutting out with a small 1/4 inch. Oh, you know what I didn't bring? Oh, I might have one there, a glue pen. Quite a small 1/4 inch seam allowance. Then let's go in a bit closer. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to go glue around the edge of the paper about half of it. Then I'm just going to use my thumb because it's an inch circle, so it's pretty big. It's pretty easy just to use your thumb and your nail. So just let it feed around on the very edge and pinch and gather onto that glue. So you're pushing your nail into the glue. Glue the other half, and again just let it feed around the circle, making sure you're not going to fold the paper in. Until we've got our perfect circle. Okay, that's our circle done. Then you would have your squares already all pieced up. Okay, so they'd all be pieced together, but I'm just going to use this little bit of linen here, and I would fuse stabilizer on the back of it as well, or you might be putting foam or Pellin on the back of it, so unsure on that, but I'll just give this a quick fuse here. If you're using the Hugs and Kisses Stitchery Stabilizer, it does like steam. I haven't got any water in my iron, but to fuse it really well. A bit of steam is good. And a little mister bottle. Well, that's got a nice fragrant best press in it, I can smell, but whatever gives you a bit of steam, it just adheres that Stitchery Stabilizer a bit better. Then I would use a little bit of rock sands to glue my dots centrally on the square, and if you've got a mini spot-on ruler, you can use that to make sure you've got it dead in the center. Okay, then I would take an applique needle, yes, and some of our Wonderfill thread, and here's a lovely bobbin that fell on the floor and Bentley got to. So why don't we use a bit of that, just in a blending colour. Have you made yours yet, Fiona? Fiona was the first one that had to have it, so she bought all the stuff straight away. Okay, let's see if I can thread this needle. There we are. Excuse my fingers, I've got a bit of a skin thing happening at the moment. It's making it very hard to thread my needles because it just gets caught on the skin. All right, so I've got my needle threaded and knotted. Let's go in a bit closer again. Make sure I'm on the screen. So I'm coming up from behind, catching the edge fold of where it's folded over the paper, the applique piece. Straight back down, same hole but just through the background. Pinch it tight and slide it along. So I'm just going to quickly go around this and stitch it down. If you did put your foam or Pellin or something on it before you did the applique, you don't have to go all the way through to the back. You just have to make sure that you're stitching the dot onto the linen. So you can sort of just scoop and catch the linen, but not think you have to go all the way to the back. I'll just caught my end in there somewhere. So straight back down, but just through the background, slide along, pull it, give it a little tug, make sure that that thread sinks into the weave of the fabric, and then you won't see your stitches at all. Adelaide people, Booked our flights yesterday, so I've just got to finish the project to cost it, and we will be releasing bookings when I get back from. I'm going to Adelaide next week. Hi, Vicky. So when I get back on Sunday the 24th, I think it is, or 25th, I reckon we'll be ready to release maybe that Monday night, but I will give you some notice. But you've got the save the date, Sunday the 6th, I think, of December. 6th or 7th? 7th, I think. Whatever the Sunday is. Flights are booked. Joey's coming as well. She's going to have a little holiday in Adelaide, and Sue's coming up, and we're going to have a little party for the weekend. All right. Now my stitches are so hidden that I can't even see where I started. So I'm just going to check on the back if I've got back nearly one more stitch, I think. And if I had any little points or my edges weren't smooth, I could have just used my needle to scoop those in and smooth them out if my gluing wasn't 100% smooth. Right, over to the back. And just finish that off. Right, then we need to mark a circle around that. So, oh, hi, Isabel. Happy birthday for this week, I think. I'm sure I saw it was this week. So I'm just going to use my little quarter marker. But if you've got your mini spot-on template, you can use that as well. But I'm just going to use my little 1/4 inch marker to mark my circle around it. And then this part I would put in a hoop. As you know, I never work without a hoop. Did you see me do that circle? Was I on screen? I might have been just about off it. I think you can just see it. All right. So I'm going to put that in my hoop. You would have your whole panel stitched up. So all right. So then I used a stranded thread, 2 strands of a stranded thread, but I didn't bring one in with me, so I've got a pearl 16. You can use either, but in the kits will be the stranded. Oh, it's got a nice little knot in it. So I'll thread that one. And knot it. Okay, let's go in. See if I can stay on camera. Okay, so if you're doing the fly stitch, it's like a V or a Y. So I come up at the top of the V, go equal distance the other side and come up the top of the other V. So imagine that is like a V, like that. You see that? Okay, so go down it on the top, the other side, and come up in the middle, so the bottom point of the V, thread under the needle, and pull it through to make a V. But now we give it a little leg to make it into a Y. So your needle then goes down at the next spot, come up at the top of the next V, straight across to that side. And then you're going to come up in the same hole that you went down at the bottom of that Y in the middle, thread under the needle, and then put your little leg on and come down here to make the Y. Ah, well done, Isabel. Yes, we do, Michelle. We have hundreds of them. So if you're ordering something, just add it to the order. I should do a pop-up in the shopping cart if you want to add it to your order at the end, because they're just like, what are they, Joe? 3 for $2 or something. I'm not sure if they're on the website. If Joe or Donna, if you're there, do you want to see if they're on the website, the 1/4" markers? All right, and that's how we do the fly stitch around the circle. So our leg of the Y is on the circle, okay? Now, if we're doing a feather stitch, we're going to have one that side and then one that side, and that circle is sort of going to be in between the two. So we go back here, and then we go there, there, or you can make it at the bottom of one, and then it'll all be even. There. So if we make that one on the line and that one outside the line. So marking it might give you a head start, but after a while you can just use your eye. So it's like having 2 fly stitches to make a feather stitch. So the first one, we go in at the top, 2 tops of the V, and then instead of doing a big long leg like a fly stitch to make a Y, we go straight across from this one. So that is the top of our next V, and then we go straight across here and make one that side. Thread under the needle, pull it through. That now is the top of my next V, so I come over here, straight across, and then down in the middle of your V, thread under the needle, then straight across and down, thread under, straight across and down. So for the camera, I'm just doing it towards myself, but you might find it easier doing it sideways. Just turn the hoop around to whatever you're comfortable with. Once you get the rhythm going, so I'm putting the bottom of my left V on the line every time, and then my right one's going outside the line. You could do it the other way too. You could have it going in closer to your circle. I think mine's probably in closer to my circle, my original one on the bag. I really need to work out how I can get this close up a bit more in focus. And straight across. So now I'm not going to mark it anymore. I can just go straight out from the other one, come up on my line. You just want to keep them all about the same size. Okay, getting the hang of that, how it works. And I think I've shown you before how you can do a double and triple feather stitch too. So you just keep going one direction 2 or 3 times, and then you come back the other direction 2 or 3 times. But in this instance, we haven't got a lot of space around the circle on the little square background block. So, I've gone fairly close to the circle. One little tip there is as you're pulling your needle through, try and lay the thread around so it's already under the needle for your next stitch. I'm getting a bit big now just to get this around. Just saves you that step of having to let go of the needle and put the thread under it. If you can lay it out as you pull it through, lay it out for the next one. Make sure I'm staying on screen. Are there 3 different sizes of what, Sharon? Sizes. Okay, I think I've missed anything else. Okay, my last one, and I'm going to feed that in to the start of my fly stitch because obviously you're only going to have 1 stitch around it, but you can now see how you stitch around it. And that was just a that was an iron off pen, so I'm just going to iron off my markings and then you can see it. Now it doesn't look like perfectly round because I started with the fly stitch and then I went to the feather, so that's why it's not looking like a nice round circle. I'll just iron off that marking. But it's just dainty, isn't it? It just adds that little bit of daintiness to it. And yeah. And so on here, where's my needle? Get that out of the way. On here you can just see how it just made it nice and dainty because we used a contrast on each of the linens. So plain and simple. It's just like a series of soft blue sort of fabrics for the spots. Some of those were my old basically Hugs ones. Some of mine we still had, and then a few others. Yeah. Anyway, that is the mini spot on box pouch, which a lot of you have already ordered. Yeah, thanks Donna, if that's what she was talking about. Only one size because it's only 1/4 inch, and it needs to be 1/4 inch all around so that as it spins. Do you want me to show you that again? I'll show you that again. It needs to be 1/4 inch, so as it spins around a shape, it's got to be 1/4 inch from the center on every side. Now, yes, we could do like a 1/2 inch one if you wanted 1/2 inch circle, and things like that won't work now because the stitching's there. I need something for it to go around. What else? I've got nothing else here to go around, I don't think. No, I need something else applique on. Oh, hang on, what's this? So I had that on there. Might work. Yeah, it's not stitched down, but you get the idea. So you can go around any applique shape. It doesn't have to be a circle because it'll just slide around. It just needs to be stitched down so it doesn't move. And then you can do it around a heart as well. So it works the same way. Pretty cool, isn't it? Okay, so there are 1/4 inch markers. That's pretty cool too. These are, I actually haven't tested this. Okay, yeah. We probably could do a 1/2 inch. I'm not sure when you'd add a 1/2 inch. I mean, they're designed for 1/4 inch echo quilting lines and things like that. Or, you know, if you're doing it on your machine, you use your 1/4 inch foot to get a 1/4 inch seam. Well, this and would probably work well with templates for adding, you know, for hand piecing and things like that too. But no, only the 1/4 inch. If you really want a 1/2 inch, I could quite easily do it. If you have a need for it, you tell me what that need is because I might need it for that as well, and then we'll do it. Yeah, but it's probably a bit silly to just order one on its own and, you know, pay for shipping just to have a little pack of 3, although they could probably go as a letter. But even a letter now is $5. So if you're ordering something else, just add it onto it. I might get Hazel to add it as a pop-up and as you check out to see, would you like to add this to your cart so you don't have to search for it. I think we can do that. I think we have the ability to do that. Hello, Rebecca. You've been hiding quietly in there. We also do have these iron-off white and blue pens, which are like friction pens too. But I've been using them when it doesn't matter, and I haven't actually tested like friction pens, you know, whether it got really cold, whether it'd come back. Actually, I should do that because this room will get very cold tonight. So if I just put a heap on there and iron it off, then I can look later when it's really cold and see if it's come back. Oh, okay, Sharon. But please, if you come up with a use for a 1/2 inch one, I'll cut a 1/2 inch one because I might like it too. All right, so that's all I had to show you tonight. That was quite a bit actually for a change. I didn't actually start off by saying I haven't got much to show you tonight. Actually, because we got a box in just today, or yesterday, so that was handy. And Donna got them all priced today, so good to go. Yep, you'll have to go and catch up. Yes, yeah, for marking hand quilting, it would be good to get your 1/4 inch lines. Okay, so I think that's it for tonight. I've got stitching to do, and another little job to do down on the computer still that I forgot. So I'm going to have to do now. So yeah, everyone have a lovely night. I'll have to. I'll just put a few links in. So what links did we had? Well, see, she's got things there that the clover. We've got more clover seam rippers in and more Thimtep tape. She's put those in. There's the cleaning tools. Not sure if they're on there either, Julie. So Joe will just add that to your invoice. Oh, that's interesting. That shouldn't have been the mini spot on this. Okay. Thimtec tape is back in. What else she put there? Got a bag making workshop link, but unless you're going to join up tomorrow for the weekend. Is the blue screen hiding something? No, I've just zoomed in. So let's go out and you'll see the rest of me there. That's all comes up on the screen. What else are we going to do? Deal of the week this week is basically Hug flannels. So all of our flannels, which was my range that came out a few years ago, and then we forgot that we realised they haven't been on the website for a couple of years. That's handy, isn't it? So that will be there. We have the bag bases for the weekend project. We're taking orders for them, Joe. So because Tina's going to give you a few different options, and then if you want us to cut you one, then we can cut you one. So you'll get your choice on the weekend. And there's the link for the mini spot on. And did I put the basically Hug flannels, the deal of the week. That'll be on until tomorrow, I think. Or maybe it's another week. Oh, no, not hiding anything. I just zoomed in. I have a different wall for hiding things. This is just up in my studio. There was a very eagle-eyed person who saw something in one of my photos that we put on last week, though, that it is a secret thing that you haven't seen yet. But anyway, I said you'll just have to wait for that one till next year. So there are some things coming up. So you might have just heard about a little cruise maybe, and maybe New Zealand, a few things like that. So yeah. Okay. All right. Oh, you better draw the winner. See if I can see it. Cheryl, are you still here? Are you still here, Cheryl? I'm not sure if the on-off pins are on the website either, actually. Cheryl, are you still here? Cheryl, are you still here? When do you go back, Joe? Straight away Sunday night for work Monday? Maybe. Otherwise, you could pop into the shop Monday for anything else that we don't have there. Yes, well done, Cheryl. Cheryl is still here, so shoot Joe a message if there's anything else you wanted. Otherwise, she will send you a digital gift if there's nothing else you want shipped out. And other than that, I shall see you all. Yeah, you will, Julie. You'll be sneaking through my pics. That's right. Yeah, not many people picked up on that, but you did. There you go. So thank you very much, and I will Yes, I will see you next week. I'm flying out Friday, so I'll be here next Thursday. See you Saturday, Joe. Yes, safe travels tomorrow. Monday early, okay. And so I'll be here next week, but I won't be here the week after, unless I do a quick live from Penola, because I'll still be in Penola on that Thursday night, which I might. We'll see. We'll see what there's not very good coverage there, so we'll see. But yeah, they. I don't think I'm meant to be mentioning the cruise yet, but I've sent quite a bit of the information. I'm not sure. I think maybe October it comes out, but anyway. I'll ask when I'm allowed to give you a heads up, save the date for that. Okay. All right. Thank you all. Have a great stitchy week. Bentley's had enough. He wants a treat or something down there. He's growling for something. And we will see you all same place, same time next week. Bye for now.